Welcome to the Lifetime Assembly channel. My name is Isaac, and today I'm going to help you assemble your 8 by 7.5 foot storage shed. Before we get started, make sure the model number of your shed is listed in the description below. This video will follow the steps outlined in the assembly manual that comes with your shed. So if you've already begun and need help on a specific step, check the description below for a timestamp associated with each step. There are steps in this assembly that require 2 people, so make sure you have at least one other adult available to help. Before we get into the assembly process, let's take a look at the tools you'll need to complete the job. You may want to pause the video now so you can gather the supplies shown on the screen. Also, you may see us use an impact driver. If you decide to use one as well, be careful not to over-torque or over-tighten the hardware. You'll also need additional tools to prepare a foundation for your shed, so refer to your manual to see what other resources you will need. All Lifetime sheds are required to be built on a foundation. We recommend you build your foundation out of concrete, but you can also use lumber. This video is meant to be a companion to the assembly manual and not a direct replacement. So for the best results, have the assembly manual on hand as you complete the job. It is also crucial that you refer to the assembly manual to review the safety instructions of this build to prevent serious injury or property damage. All right, let's get started. This section goes over the requirements for the foundation of your shed. This video will focus on the assembly of the shed and not of the foundation. So refer to your manual in section 1 to see how to properly build a foundation for your shed. If you have questions regarding the foundation of your shed, please feel free to reach out to our customer service team at the number below. Take 2 gutter channels and line up the holes in the end with the holes in the connector piece. Then secure the hardware. Be careful not to over-tighten this hardware. Line the holes in the ends of the truss brace with the holes in the middle of the gutter channels and secure the hardware, making sure the head of the bolt is on the inside of the gutter channel. To make tightening this hardware easier, I like to use a pair of vice grips with a Phillips head. Insert the truss rod through the connector and truss brace and secure with a nut on each end. Only tighten until the truss rod doesn't wiggle. Repeat the previous steps for a second truss assembly. Take the gable halves that have a straight edge on the bottom, line them up in the center, and secure with the hardware. Line the holes in the screen with the holes in the vent. Place the vent on the front of the gable and secure the hardware in the back. Take the gable halves that have a curve in the bottom, line them up in the center, and secure the hardware. Line the holes in the screen with the holes in the vent. Place on the front side of the gable and secure the hardware on the back. Take the small square tube and insert a cap into each end. Place the tube over these divots, making sure these dimpled holes are against the gable and the dimpled hole in the center is at the bottom of the gable. Secure the tube to the gable, starting with the center 2 holes first. Take the left door, the one with the Lifetime logo, and line these holes in the tube with these holes in the door. Then insert the tube into the bottom of the door, making sure to leave a few inches hanging out at the bottom. Insert the cap into the tube, then finish sliding until it's flush with the end of the door. Place the latch bracket over these holes, oriented like this, and secure the hardware. Only finger tighten this hardware for now. Locate these divots at the bottom and top of the door and drill them out with the provided drill bit, only going through the first layer of metal. At the bottom of the door, place a spacer over the holes you just drilled out, making sure you can read the word down. Add the lock on top of the spacer, oriented like this, then secure with the self-tapping screws. Repeat at the top of the door, making sure the spacer reads up. Connect the two halves of the handle, place on the front of the door, and secure the hardware on the back. Take a hinge tube and insert it into the opposite edge of the door, making sure to leave a few inches hanging out on each end. Take the right door and line these holes in the tube with these holes in the door. Then slide the tube into the bottom of the door, making sure to leave a few inches hanging out at the bottom. Insert the cap into the tube, then finish sliding the remainder of the way until it's flush with the bottom of the door. Secure the tube into place by inserting a self-tapping screw into this divot at the bottom of the door. Add the locking hardware in this order and then secure with the hardware. Connect the two halves of the handle, place on the front of the door, and secure the hardware in the back. When adding the hardware in the back, make sure to add this bracket oriented like this. Insert a hinge tube into the opposite edge of the door, making sure to leave a few inches hanging out on each end. Unfold your floor panels, orient them like this. Then, to connect them together, lift one panel up at an angle, interlock the tabs, and set it back down. This step may be easier if you have someone else stand on the panel you're trying to connect to. Secure the floor panels together by inserting a screw into the 4 divots along each seam. Your door can go on either edge with the Lifetime logo. Decide what edge you want your door on, then place this strike plate over this cutout and secure the hardware. Take the corner panel labeled AGN and place a wall support into this channel, making sure the two holes closest together go at the top. Make sure the holes line up with the divots and secure with the 4 screws. Add a wall support to this channel on the corner panel labeled AGY, making sure the two holes close together go at the bottom. Take 4 wall panels and add a wall support into the center channel, making sure the two holes closest together go at the top directly under the cutout. Insert the tabs at the bottom of the panel AGY into these cutouts in the floor. Slide the panel towards the narrow end of the cutout to lock it in place. I'm comfortable tapping with my foot, but if you're not, use a block and a rubber mallet. Lean the panel away from the floor, fold it in half, line up the tabs on the bottom with the cutouts on the floor, and apply downward pressure to lock it in place. If you're having a difficult time getting the tabs to lock into place, place a block under each tab individually and apply downward pressure to lock it in place. Add a wall panel that has a wall support into the cutouts next to the previous panel. Then slide towards the corner panel to lock it in place. Make sure this line at the top of the wall panels is even and then secure with the 5 screws. Add another wall panel that has a wall support next to the previous panel using the same method. Add the corner panel labeled back right to this corner using the same method as the front corner. Add the 2 wall panels that don't have a wall support to this edge. Now add the corner labeled back left to this corner. Add 2 wall panels with a wall support to this edge. Finally, add the corner panel labeled AGN to this corner. Locate the circle holes on this edge, then insert the bushings from the underside. On the back wall, add a wall support to the panel on the right, making sure to add the wall support into the center channel and put the two holes closest together at the top. On the left panel, add a wall support to the channel just to the right of the cutout. There are 3 height settings you can choose for your shelf. Those are indicated by these divots. Once you've chose the height setting of your shelf, insert this triangle shelf brackets into these slits at the height you chose. Then insert the screw anchors to these divots at the height you chose. Add the shelf brackets to the screw anchors, making sure the oblong hole goes against the wall. Unfold the shelf and lay it flat on the ground. Add the support tubes into these channels under the shelf, making sure they lock into place. Place the shelf on top of the brackets, making sure the word front is facing the entrance of the shed. Secure the shelf to the brackets using 2 screws each. It may be helpful to have someone on the outside pushing on the wall panel to line up the holes better. Insert the hinge tube of the left door into this bushing, making sure the hole in the hinge tube lines up with the slit in the bushing. Insert the cotter pin from the outside going in and flare the other end. Repeat the previous steps with the right door. Now add the gable with the curve in it onto the hinge tubes. Line the holes in the gable with the holes in the corner panel and secure the hardware. Add the gap flaps to this location, oriented like this. Then secure the hardware. Add a truss to these notches closest to the door. While you continue to hold the truss, have someone else slide a roof panel on top of the gable and into the gutter channel. You'll know the roof panel is in the correct position when the alignment nub is in this notch. Secure the roof panel to the wall through these 4 holes. If at any point you're having a hard time getting things to line up, click this link here to see a video on how to line up your roof panels. Secure the roof panel to the gable and truss through these 2 holes. Add a roof support into the notch in the roof and gable. Finish securing the roof through the 3 remaining holes. Repeat the previous steps for the opposite side of the shed. Repeat the previous process, adding a truss and 2 more roof panels to the shed. Place the other gable onto the back wall and secure it the hard way. Add the final 2 roof panels using the same method as the first 2. Place the roof cap labeled AGG on top of the gable over the doors. And then secure the hardware. Place a roof cap labeled AFY on top of the previous cap, securing them together into the truss. Repeat the process for another cap labeled AFY. Add the final roof cap labeled AFW over the rear gable. Fold the skylight in half, place it into the hole, line up the tabs with the holes, and secure the hardware. To avoid damaging the skylight, be very careful tightening this hardware. Repeat this process for the other 2 skylights. On the back wall, insert the clips into these holes, making sure the arrow is facing up. Next, you need to make sure that your doors are level. Click on this link here to see a video, or refer to your manual in section 11 to see how to properly level your doors. Once you've leveled your doors, go inside and have someone lock the doors behind you and finish tightening the hardware on the left door. This section goes over how to anchor your shed to your foundation. Since we're indoors, we're not going to be able to do that, but it's important that you do. So refer to your manual in section 12 to see how to properly anchor your shed to your foundation. Thank you for watching this video on how to assemble your lifetime 8 by 7.5 foot storage shed. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up. For more content like this, subscribe to our channel. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to our customer service team and check out our other amazing products at lifetime.com.